Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. The Hurricane Watchman is here with your latest update on the tropics. Today we have quite a lot we need to talk about today. Yes, we have that storm Invest 92E in the East Pacific. We're going to be talking about that. But I just want to give the latest satellite images of the East Pacific. The East Pacific? Do I not even know what area this is? This is the latest satellite images of the Mediterranean Sea. Here we are. Because we could be dealing with a potential 60-mile-per-hour tropical storm in the Mediterranean Sea by the early to middle of next week, and we have to watch out. It's expected to kind of move up here and kind of come out and kind of come down, but it's going to be in this general area in the south central part of the Mediterranean Sea. We're going to have to closely watch that area because Italy and Greece could be affected. It's expected to peak out with winds of 60 to 65 miles an hour. It will be nothing like last year's tropical hurricane in the Mediterranean, last year's medicane. Last year's medicane had maximum sustained winds of 100 miles an hour, winds gusting to as high as 121 miles an hour there prior to that landfall there in Greece. So thankfully we will not have anything like that. However, it's still going to be a moderately to a strong tropical storm here in the Mediterranean, and it's still something we're going to have to watch for and keep a close eye out on, because it's something we're going to have to watch for. It's Italy and Greece, and they easily flood very mountainous regions. So we're going to be closely watching those systems, and that one system here, GFS is expecting it to emerge over the south central Mediterranean Sea in just 2 days. Alright, so it's Friday now, so by technically Sunday, by Sunday, Thursday, either Saturday or Sunday, we could be seeing the system emerging into the Mediterranean Sea, and by early next week we should possibly see a tropical depression or a tropical storm in the Mediterranean Sea. We're going to have to watch out and see if that happens. I'm very, very excited to see does this in fact happen. If it does, I will, again, keeping you all informed on what will happen with that system. But now I do want to talk a little bit about that system in the East Pacific, because certainly we definitely got to keep an eye out on that. So here's the latest update. And now it has a high chance of development. There it is, 70% chance of tropical development. So you can kind of see lots of convection here. It's surrounded by a majority of clouds on all sides. It's going to start rotating. As the Earth spins, it will begin to rotate with the Earth. So there's the center of the storm. It has a 70% chance of development in the next 2 days. All right, so this has a good chance of developing. It's a Friday, so we could be seeing this storm really starting to develop into a much stronger system. So we're going to have to watch the storm very carefully, and this could become another tropical depression. I'm going to say it will be named Trevor if it becomes a storm. Correct me if I'm wrong. I believe it would be named Tropical Storm Trevor if it achieves 39-mile-per-hour sustained winds or higher. But there's the system right there. We're going to be closely monitoring this, and I'm going to see what the National Hurricane Center is saying. So, shower activity associated with a low-pressure area located a few hundred miles southwest of the Gulf of Tehuantepec. I always have a hard time pronouncing that. Has become better organized during the last 24 hours, and environmental conditions are expected to be conducive for additional development of this system during the next several days. And a tropical depression is likely to form during the next couple of days, while the system moves slowly west-northwestward to northwestward near or just offshore southern coast of Mexico. In the next 48 hours, a high chance of development with 70% chance. And in the next 5 days, high chance of development of a 90%. So now, regardless, you can actually see some rain bands and some outer bands already affecting Mexico. So regardless, this is already going to be affecting Mexico, because it is affecting Mexico right now. So Mexico will be getting affected by this system. Rain will be the biggest threat. If this does make landfall, we could be seeing this could also become a hurricane. So something we'll have to watch out for in the future for sure, if this does in fact develop into something that we need to be more worried about. And I don't know what I did. Oh, that's what I did. So also wanted to talk about oh crap, it's a tropical storm. I just had it on my mind a minute ago, and now I can't remember the name of it. But we do have a system there. So we have to Hold up, people are texting me. Sorry about that, y'all. Stuff going on. So, I did want to talk about this. Could become, a bomb cyclone. I think is what they're calling it at one point. It's very, very large, and it's going through rapid intensification. I heard. So look at this. Definitely an upper level low. This is not low at the low levels of the atmosphere. 960, 950 something millibars right now. It is continuing to approach closer to the coast of Canada, and it's going to be approaching northwestern part of the United States. So pretty powerful and pretty incredible to look at. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it is incredibly powerful for that kind of a storm. So gonna have to watch this. It will produce a lot of heavy rain and heavy snow for portions of why can I not speak? For portions of the western part of the United States, like Utah, Colorado, parts of California. I'm gonna kind of show y'all that right now, so y'all have an idea of what we're looking at here. So you can really see there's that system, but then there's another system behind it that's going to be a really big system. As you can see, lots of heavy thunderstorms over California. Lots of snow. Snow is going to be a big thing for sure. And then another one comes through. It is just like one right after another. Just like as if we just... Oh, it's middle of winter again. You know, the usual. Now, one thing I did want to talk about first is the Mediterranean. I have not actually seen the models today, so let's see what the models are saying about this system. 1800 UTC, incredible, perfect. You can kind of see that system developing. It goes north. Is this? Oh, this is. I was like, okay, interesting. Then it comes down, and then it dissipates. And then that's the end of that. So there's a possibility we could see, this does appear to be a much weaker storm, but we still have to watch in case of any possibility of a storm. So again, I just want to show you, we're seeing 10 to 15 foot waves out there, which is very, very high up in the atmosphere. Just kind of want to show you that you can kind of see the center of circulation. It isn't super well developed, but we're going to have to watch for, because this is very, very rare to see tropical storms here in the Mediterranean Sea. Invest 92E, again, it is going to reach tropical storm force winds pretty soon, I think. Invest 98W is still out there. They still don't acknowledge its existence at all. There's so much stuff going on in this chat. Okay. So there's another good channel I want y'all to subscribe to. He's a really cool guy, and he tries to do updates every day. And his name is Martin's Weather. His channel is Martin's Weather Channel. So if you want to go down there and subscribe to him, that would mean a lot to him. So that'd be great. I don't really have a whole lot of time to look at my phone. I'm sort of in the middle of a stream. So once again, here's that system. I kind of wanted to show that to y'all. Really not a whole lot to talk about. I mean, that system out there is something we're going to have to watch for. And see if it actually turns into something tropical. And if it does, again, I'll be giving you all those latest updates if it does do something that we need to keep an eye out on. So again, as you can see, a 70% chance of development with maximum sustained winds are in fact at 30 miles per hour. Air pressure stayed relatively constant at 1,011 millibars, but I think it's going to start dropping down pretty quickly. Off, and then just whatever. I don't even know what I'm talking about this morning. Hi everyone, how are you? How is everyone doing? I honestly don't have a whole lot to talk about. You know, I just kind of wanted to mention the system here. If we go back here and we go to the forecast models, and we go to the East Pack. I mean, some of the models again are saying that this could become this storm in the East Pack could become a relatively strong system, relatively Category 2 hurricane, with the 973 millibars. That's pretty low. You know, so I think this could be for a tropical storm. Is what I mean. This could possibly also become a hurricane, or something that we'll have to keep an eye out on. I also want to take a look at. I want to take a look at the North Atlantic. Mainly the Western Atlantic, because that's where the majority of the landmass is at. So again, the GFS is still showing a system developing here in the Caribbean Sea, and they're just moving north. Could become a tropical storm. We'll have to see. Possibly, probably not a hurricane, but a 60-mile-per-hour tropical storm there through the Lesser Antilles. Oh, Jesus. So I just wanted to just show y'all that there is that system we're gonna be watching here in the Western Atlantic that, you know, could be affecting the Lesser Antilles, mainly the United States Virgin Islands and the British Virgin Islands, and possibly for extreme eastern Puerto Rico could be getting some swells. Definitely some heavy rain from this. You can kind of see this feeder band right here. Hello, everyone. How are you all doing? So again, we're going to be watching that system. I mean, now again, this is very far in the future. It does seem to become a potential tropical system. You know, a cluster of thunderstorms are just 162 hours, but that's still pretty far out. We have to wait probably, you know, we have to still wait quite a long time until that actually develops, because, I mean, that's still pretty far out. But that system here in the, we'll be also watching closely. I do want to look at some other models, because some other models are saying different stuff, but, for that system there in the Mediterranean is, an area, in Europe and Africa, I guess you could say. It's and the Middle East, there by Syria. I don't know countries. Iran, region. Right there, Africa, Middle East, and Europe all kind of border the Mediterranean Sea. And so, I mean, literally the Canadian model is showing something developing. Now, this is showing more of a very low-end, maybe 40-mile-per-hour peak. I mean, we're seeing 1,005 millibars. It does have a closed low center of circulation, which is key to understanding. Okay. So this is showing winds probably not even tropical storm force, because here's 40, would have to be in the reds, and it doesn't even show tropical storm force, but we would still watch it just because it could still produce a lot of heavy rain in case that model does take the, in case that model is correct, which I don't think it will be. And this is literally the 18Z. I'm going to go to the 12Z. So this is the nav gem, which I kind of want to talk about, just see if there's anything that does in fact develop, which literally nothing's developing. I mean, you can kind of see, yeah, you can't even. I mean, you see some isobars rotating around right here. Isobars, I don't know what those are called. I forgot the names of those. The barbs. The weather barb things. Oh, shoot, we got some people from Brazil. Welcome. That's actually pretty cool. Brazil, man, that's pretty cool. Wow. Hi, wow, that's pretty cool. So we're watching this system, potential tropical system, developing here in the Mediterranean Sea, and it has a possibility of So majority of all the models are actually beginning. A lot of the models are starting to say, okay, there's at least a possibility of this becoming a tropical storm force storm. I mean, look at this at its peak. I mean, that's over 200 hours out from now, but you can see it's a closed low. And it's showing winds excess of about 40 to 45 mile per hour winds. Very, very weak, but still a possibility of this becoming a tropical system. Mesoscale. No, these are all for... I don't think the JMA is going to show anything. I probably shouldn't say that out loud because it might show something terrifying. Would you look at that? It shows like nothing. Like I said, nothing. So the GFS is sort of just showing that this system, I do think that this has the possibility So the GFS is showing this to be a relatively weak system. Nothing strong at all. I mean, we do see some... I don't know why it shows that black flag. That black flag indicates a hurricane. This is not a hurricane. And then comes down, but then there's nothing after it. So we could just be seeing a minimum 50 mile per hour tropical storm. So, if that's the case, that'd be great. Because, just a 50 mile per hour tropical storm would be great in terms of damage-wise. Because you get a much stronger system and it could do a lot more damage. So this is currently what we're looking at here in the Mediterranean Sea. Really doesn't look too bad in my opinion. Here, let me zoom. Let me kind of come up here and show you what we're talking about up here. So you can kind of see there's this jet stream. This is a cold front coming through France, Spain, and it's making its way through Italy, making its way through Romania, Bosnia, Croatia, Serbia, Bulgaria, Albania. Eventually it'll make its way through Greece. It's connected to an upper level low, which is over, I want to say Western Russia, but I might be wrong about that. I don't exactly know where the center of circulation is of that upper level low. But nevertheless, this is a cold front, which kind of brings in, increases those upper level winds in this general direction. As it moves in this general direction, upper level winds are going like this, and would rip a storm apart. So that's one reason why we're not seeing any kind of strong tropical activity right now. If I zoom out, you can see that upper level low. Is it in Western Russia? No, it's in... Bro, is it in Finland? So you can really see that upper level low is way up here. Alright, that upper level low is right here, and this cold front is bringing... It's literally an entire cold front coming through the entire continent of Europe. It's a massive system. It's humongous. It's giant. It's producing a lot. It's producing snow. It's just a huge system. Look at that. It's massive. It's absolutely massive storm. But I'm going to zoom back into this region so we know what we're talking about here. So again, that cold front is pushing its way through, making its way through Italy right now as we speak. Once that comes through, I think by this weekend, we could see a potential of a disturbance making its way into the Mediterranean Sea, and it has a possibility by early next week reaching tropical storm force winds. It's a mix between, is it going to be an Italian storm, a storm in Italy, or is it going to be a storm that makes landfall in Greece? The GFS has flipped. Like earlier today, they were saying almost a hurricane, a 65, 70 mile per hour tropical storm approaching Italy, and then now they're saying a 45 to 50 mile per hour tropical storm approaching Greece. And so this keeps on flipping, and so that's something, if it takes the way towards Italy, I think it's going to be a much more powerful system because it's going to have a lot more water. If it develops on here, it could come up here, all the way up here, up through here. It has a lot more water because it has the Adriatic Sea up here to fuel off of. But if it just comes up here and then it kind of just goes northeast, it makes landfall with Greece. Land interaction with Greece. So there's honestly not going to be, if it goes towards Italy, it's going to be a much stronger system. If it goes towards Greece, it's going to be a weaker system. But So that's something we have to watch out for. So if you live in Italy and it comes to your direction, you could be seeing up to hurricane force wind gusts. I wouldn't be surprised 75, 80 mile an hour tropical storm, hurricane force winds. But this will be nothing like in September of 2020, where you all saw winds as high, and I'm going to say made landfall in Greece with winds as high as 100 miles an hour, gusting to 121 miles per hour. That was an incredibly powerful, very, very rare medicane, where it was producing major hurricane force wind gusts. It was absolutely incredible. It was very, very powerful. But this will most likely not even reach hurricane force, in my opinion. But it will certainly be something we need to watch for, just in case that it does in fact happen. And there's a good chance, because it's been very consistent and persistent with the modeling, and the more models have come on with agreement. Okay. Let's see, any comments, questions, or concerns? Stop. Yeah, Italy might get hit. So, I mean, Albania is up there, too. So, I mean, like, Albania, yeah, you're right. I mean, Albania is right there by Greece. I mean, if it goes, because it's going to depend. There's a possibility, because if it goes towards Italy, I need to zoom this in a little bit, because I'm staring at my teeny tiny monitor, and I can't see anything from where I'm at. So, like, if it comes in this general direction, up through here, it could affect Greece on one side, Italy on the other side, and then also Albania, and then all these other countries up through here. If it comes to this little tiny area right here, it could affect all these countries up through here. So we could be seeing, how the hell do you pronounce that? Oh, Montenegro. Is that a country? Montenegro, Bosnia, Croatia could be getting really affected by this. Slovenia. And then possibly even Austria, depends on how far, but Adriatic Sea, I don't think it's going to go that far. I think it's going to probably make landfall in Italy if it goes the Italian way, and it could make landfall as a 60 to 70 mile per hour tropical storm, which again is a relatively powerful system for, Italy. Is not used to storms that intense. So does anyone have any other comments, questions, or concerns? I kind of like to, I don't want to keep y'all bored, because there's really not a lot to talk about watching that system there in the East Pacific. Nothing super crazy. Hi everyone, how are you? How is everyone doing? And the system can hit Italy most likely. Yeah, I know. I already shouted you out, Martin, in the beginning of the stream. I do know that I think that this storm, it has the possibility of becoming, I don't know, is it going to go towards Italy or is it going to go towards Greece? Greece, it could be the weaker scenario. Italy's going to be the stronger scenario of this system. And that's something we're going to have to watch for. And that's all based on the upper level winds. That's based on the wind shear. And truthfully, that's just sort of all based on, upper level winds. And really the high pressure is really going to steer it. And depending on where the high pressure is at that given point in time will determine where the storm will go. Where's that high pressure going to be? I don't know. I don't have a degree in meteorology, so I don't understand how to predict high pressure. That's something if I can predict high pressure, then predicting hurricanes for me would be a lot easier, but I can't predict high pressure. Does anyone have any comments, questions, or concerns? I'm probably going to end this stream off here. I like to keep these streams in the evening pretty short. Like my video, or like my stream, subscribe to my channel if you want more tropical updates around the world. We talk about storms from the Mediterranean to the North Atlantic to the East Pacific, Central Pacific, West Pacific, Indian Ocean, Southern Indian Ocean, Southern Pacific Ocean, Arabian Sea. We talk about stuff in the Western Indian Ocean, the Eastern Indian Ocean, the Bay of Bengal. We talk about storms all over the planet. And so if you have any, if you feel free. Oh yeah, South Atlantic too. I will also be watching areas in the South Atlantic. Nothing's expected to develop in the South Atlantic. But South Atlantic and the Mediterranean are some of the places. The Mediterranean, the South Atlantic, and the Great Lakes of the United States, and probably the Arabian Sea are the four most rarest places to get a tropical system. Definitely the Great Lakes and definitely the Arabian Sea, really, mainly because there's so much dry air. The air over there is extremely dry. There's a lot of dust in the atmosphere, and so a storm cannot develop in that region because of the dust. South Atlantic, the temperatures usually aren't super warm. There's a lot of wind shear. They don't have the right ingredients to produce a hurricane. The Mediterranean, it's a little bit more favorable, and as we go through as global warming gets worse, I do think we'll see more storms in the Mediterranean Sea, the Great Lakes of the United States, the Arabian Sea, and of course the South Atlantic. I think we'll start to see more storms increase. With all that being said, have a wonderful rest of your evening, and that's it. I'm gonna give everyone a minute to ask some questions, and I will answer your questions. If you have any comments, questions, or concerns, I will definitely be answering your questions. Your stream is popping now, Hannah. So I also wanted to say, if you want to be able to talk to us directly one-on-one, we do have a Discord server. You have to be 13 years or older. That is not the Hurricane Watch Team's rules. That is Discord server rules, and the reason we don't allow anyone 13 or under, because we could actually get our server shut down, so we don't want that. So if you want to, you can join our server. I'm going to put that in the chat. It's hard to really know which one is more likely just because it's going to depend on the high pressure, alright? The high pressure is a little bit stronger. It's going to steer towards Italy, okay? Stronger. Yeah, if it's stronger, it's going to probably... What I mean by stronger is more larger, and it could steer this direction towards Italy. But if it's weaker, it may just come up in this direction. If it's a little bit stronger, it may come this direction, and then it may turn like this. So that's going to be a little bit more time, but still, I do think that the Italy way is going to be a little bit more stronger, and the Greek way is going to be a little bit weaker. Alright, so, again, feel free to subscribe to the channel. We love to get more subscribers. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, so feel free to subscribe. It would mean the world to me. And that's it for today, guys. Have a wonderful rest of your evening, and peace out.